We bring gifts. You know, we come with treats because the presence is a present. There's no such thing as yesterday, right? You can't prove it. And tomorrow doesn't exist. So the only thing that's really popping is right now. So the presence of the now is that in every one of these Melanin Monday, we bring you special guests outside of the special guests. And tonight, we are we are gifted to have the presence of our good brother, my fellow paradigm shifter, 19 Keys in the building. Please give that man a round of applause. Right? A world changer. A brother that's doing big things. And then on top of that, we also are joined by a whole room full of powerful movers and shakers. Give yourself a round of applause because each and every single one of y'all are world changers doing what you do, right? My brother's out there. He's a dancer. Brother Kyrie goes around the world moving rhythm, tapping in, showing the rhythm, tapping into the ancient rhythm, casting spells, tapping into ceremony, right? Then you have my good brother. Where's my bro? Where the bro at? Where's Jefferson? All right, my brother back there, Jefferson, doing his thing with athletics, right? A global clothing. Give that man a round of applause, please. You feel me? Doing business, raising the bar, tapping into the fashion, you know, doing what he's supposed to do as an entrepreneur, providing for his family. My brother Olu is in the back with the crowns. Shout out to Olu. Give it, yes, yes. Tapping into the fashion, shifting the culture by the fashion. You know what I'm talking about? And making money while doing it. Then we're joined by Sister America in the building. Please, Sister America. Let me see that hand. All right. Super talented, super duper gifted, a musician who we've worked together with and made some classics already. You know what I mean? The sister is a powerhouse, and her future and her today and everything is very bright. So I'm honored to be in her presence. You know what I'm talking about? We also have our sister Sharice over here. Sister, please give her a hand. All right. Very talented musician, organizer. She's been in the community doing her thing. At the door, we have our sister Secret. Please, Sister Secret. Yes, yes, give her a hand. All right. The sister has a spa. This is about to be opened up in the West End area. She's an entrepreneur. She's about to open up a super duper exclusive state-of-the-art spa for treatment. I'm talking about for both genders, men and women. They got the yoni state. Yeah, hands for the yoni state. Right? They got the Reiki tables. All of these things that we need. Right? Especially those of us that are on the front lines. We take the most abuse. Think about that. We're not living a knuckle dragger's life. We're not just floating through reality in a comfort zone in our little nice NBA bubble. We have the audacity to get on the front line and put it all out there. Our family done disown us, talking about what's up with the Ankh, what happened to the cross. You know what I mean? The judgment that you get of your quote-unquote friends and whatnot. They like, what's going on with homie over there? You know, he was an all-star athlete in high school. You know what I'm saying? Now he's doing meditations in Central Park. So a lot of people don't understand what your transformation is about because it's not on BET and VH1. And the media has not condoned it. You know what I'm talking about? So they look at it like it's something to be frowned upon. But while they're frowning upon you, you're smiling upon them because you already know. You know what I'm talking about? You know how much work that you are putting in for them. Not only just you, you have no idea how much I'm putting on for you. So those of us that are on the front line, we need to be catered, and we need to take self-care, and we need to be able to take care of this temple. Because if this temple ain't working, then you're not working. If you're an entrepreneur. So to make a long story short, I could call out every single person in this room. Everybody is out here doing something, and that's the purpose for Melanin Mondays live in the ATL. You know what I mean? KTL and the ATL. It's to bring the people out so they can network and meet each other. Because like I said, and let me not forget, let me grab this book. Like I've said on many occasions, the worth of any audience during a lecture, or the value for that matter, it's not in the lecturer. How can it be in the lecturer and you already know their work? You're familiar with their work. They get on this stage, you paid about $60, $100, $20 or whatever because you agreed that their value is worth it. So when you came, you already gave them their price. It's the people who show up that's the real value that you never get to talk to. That people allow to walk in the building and walk right out the building. But there goes your talent pool, right? There goes your solution to what we gonna do next, right, Bill? What you're gonna do next is you're gonna turn to the person sitting next to you and introduce yourself. Let's do that. Yeah, real talk. Let's do that right now. Introduce yourself. And for y'all online, start introducing yourself in the chat room. Yes, I had to sit the queen on the throne. Y'all give her a hand. Okay. Let me show the family online what's going on. The queen got to sit on the throne. Whenever somebody is on this stage and they're talking to the people, or Set, they say, watch the throne. Or Set sits on the throne. So if we conducting business amongst family, put the queen on the throne. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm highly encouraging everybody that's meeting each other to get your information, exchange data. Because if you online watching this, Google is exchanging your data. Facebook and Instagram, they all sharing your data, but we get into rooms with each other and we don't share data. And they telling you that the most important thing that's worth more than gold and oil right now is what? It's what? Data. So in my hand is a book that I passed around, right? 50 years from now, I'm gonna have this book in the museum. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have multiple of these books in museums, and they're gonna have the original information that was written in these books. What I do with these books is I pass this book out to the audience, and I ask them, if you have a skill set, or if you have a talent, or if you have a gift, right? I need you to write it on this page. I want your email, phone number, and your Instagram handle, along with the things that you do. As you can see, this book is filled up because the last time that we did it, everybody that was in, who was there the last time we did that? Show of hands, right? Facts. So you don't got to fill this out. Everybody that was out there was doing something, right? They all had something to offer. So what value is it if I got something to offer and I'm talking to hundreds of people and I don't know what they got to offer? That's not reciprocation. That's not a full circle, right? You have to share information and find out who you are. Man, know thyself. So can you pass this around? If you didn't fill this out, please fill this out before the end of the night. The pen. Who got the pen? Yeah, sister got the pen. Fill that out and leave your information. We're going to contact you via email because what we're going to be doing in the future is exclusive networking events where it's not going to be a lecture. It's going to be networking events so we could teach about the new economy, like the passion economy, the gig economy, the hustle economy, all of the things that are taking place right now, where if you have a skill set, whatever you're doing, you could be a healer. You could do Reiki. Everything that this community does is monetized now, right? Don't let it become a commodity, because when it becomes a commodity, they're going to be selling it in Target. People that don't look like you are going to be offering the same services that you have. So it's time to come together as a community and really be serious about what it is that's going on in the now. I'm not really going to bore you with history. You know what I mean? I did a lot of the history teaching over the years. I want to talk about the miraculous times that we're living in right now. This is a gift. So if you're here, it's for a reason, right? So with that being said, let's get the festivities started. We are going to bring up to the stage a poet. Yeah, we're going to bring up the stage with a poet. We're going to showcase some talent, because this is about the arts and the sciences, you know, tapping into the spectrum. So with that being said, quick announcement, a little commercial. October the 10th, 10/10/20, in the city of Atlantis, we are going to be having the second annual Woke Fest. By a show of hands, how many people were at the first Woke Fest? Well, that means you need to be at the second one, all right? The Woke Fest is going to be taking place. I will give you all of the information. Bring me a flyer, somebody, so I can share that with the family. If you're listening to the show right now, you're in Chicago, you're in Detroit. Matter of fact, let me do a roll call before I even get started. How rude of me. Let's do a roll call with the online family so we know who's tapping in. Portland, Oregon is tapping in. Salute to y'all. All right? So, for the second annual Woke Fest, we have Red and Blue Pill as host, Lizzie Jeff as a host, my brother Bashir Music as a performer. Shout out to Bob. Give him a hand. Give everybody a hand. Yes. Sister America Sutton as a performer. Give her a hand. Come on. And many other performers. All right. The time is going to be from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. Saturday, October the 10th, 2020, at 3520 Cascade Road, Atlanta, Georgia, 30331. All right. Is that where they had the outdoor venue where Little Baby had performed this summer? It was like it's a big outdoor venue. Then they have like an inside stage. Do you know about? Okay, well anyway, make sure y'all in the building. This one is gonna be for the record books. All right. So we got Mississippi in the building. We got South Central Los Angeles in the building. Long Island, New York in the building. Oakland in the building. B-more in the building. Houston, Texas in the building. 707 in the building. Seattle in the building. Harlem in the building. South Kakalaka, 864 in the building. Delaware in the building. Oakland in the building. Town Business. CT in the building. All right? So the family is here. Norcross, Savannah is in the building. North Miami, Florida in the building. Pensacola, Florida in the building. San Diego, New Jersey by way of Chi-Town. Myrtle Beach. All right? Six Guard, T-Dot in the building. Minneapolis, Fayetteville. All right? Morristown. The family is in the building. Give them a hand, please. Give them a hand, y'all. Family is tapped in from around the world, tapped into Melanin Monday. So without any further ado, I'm going to bring to you my brother, your brother, Brother Tafari. Peace. Peace, y'all. Can y'all hear me? Okay.
I'm gonna perform two poems for y'all, okay? So y'all bear with me, all right? The first one is called Energy is Everything, all right? Energy is everything. Everything, everything. I am the sun, I am the moon, I am whatever I need to be, depending on the tune. The flowing tides, the wishing waters, the energy never dies. It's always swaying, always moving. So I do my diligence to put my harness on my chest, so then I can produce peace within my heart. So when the energy rushes, I know that the warrior is about. Realizing then that my brain is my real cloud. As my pineal tarnishes the veil of illusion, then I muster my conclusion. What consists of my soul? Really, what remains? The world drenched it in its acidic rain. Nonetheless, I endure the pain, because for every gain, the Creator basks in glory to unlock another piece of this mystical story. Thank you. All right, this next one is called Infinity Rising. From the depths of hell, I rise to grow and tell a story of abandonment. Lilith cancer to become a motherless child. My royalty courses through my blood, yet at times my emotions feel like a flood. Broken dreams shattered throughout the mud. I've been on the ground for far too long. My ancestors flow through my veins, instructing me on how to battle against my longing pains. Being misunderstood when my intentions are aligned, forsaken and forgotten when I know I'm divine. Hypocrites bark a story of two truths, when in reality, I live both. Duality is my oath. I walk the middle ground, where love is deeply, intrinsically found, forever, eternally bound to search for the everlasting, infinite crown. Thank you.
Give that man a hand, y'all. Give him a hand. Y'all can do better than that. Y'all can do better than that. That's right. Thank you for your energy. Okay, so without any further ado, right, we're going to get the show rolling. And we are going to open up the floor and bring on our guest of the night, none other than a legend himself, who needs no introduction, right? Who is a recent recipient, if I'm correct, not of a Grammy, right? Of a Hall of Fame award. Lifetime achievement, right? Recognized by the same industry, right? This is when you know you're doing work. Even though we know this said industry would try to blackball the brother, they still gotta acknowledge him. So give this man a round of applause, please, with all of your might. Our brother, your brother, Professor Griff.
Greetings, how's everyone doing? Y'all can do a little bit better than that. How's everyone doing? As always, giving praise and thanks to the Creator, whatever degree of consciousness that, all right, who set this microphone system up? These speakers should be facing that way. For real? Just like that? We're gonna turn them out just a little. All right. All right. In the back in the day, we had them old ass systems, and this never happened. So they got sophisticated. How many people remember the blackout in New York in 1976? About 3 or 4. Oh, the rest of y'all are young? Okay, cool. No, no, seriously. After that blackout, we had every kind of system you could imagine. Because cats came off. For real. Anyway, greetings to the Serious Minds family. Of course, greetings to KTL Know the Ledge. Give a round of applause to my good brother, Red Pill, who calls me every now and then. Let's give him a round of applause. Give him a black hand. I'm accompanied by my good brother, Shane Shakur, Tupac, no relations. And give yourselves a round of applause. I told 19 Kings, I seen him doing some push-ups on Instagram or something, man. I had to rewind and get down there with him, like, yo, let's get it. For real, man. That's a beautiful thing when people can do that, unashamedly do that, and give us their energy. You understand what I'm saying? And I think when we see that, we need to acknowledge that. Who else is in the building that I had you on my mind? It'll come to me in a second. Once I see your beautiful face. But anyway, he asked me what did I want to talk about. I said I just wanted to be open. I want to be accessible to the people. So I do want you to prepare some questions because I'm sure you've seen some things online that you'd want to ask me some questions about because you're just unclear about some things. So what I wanted to do tonight is talk. But then again, Red Pill has some questions for me that I wanted to dialogue with him also. I really, truly wanted to kind of dialogue. Oh, you know who I was thinking about? America. And then when I started, then America came to my mind. Trump came to my mind. Biden's lying ass, and the rest of them came to mind. So I don't know what happened. Oh, America's right. Thank you, America. Really appreciate you. All right. Now, Brother Black was on the right track. Can we get some, just a little bit in the background? America might want to help you, but they have to be a little bit slower than that and methodic. See, now that energy is gonna get my blood pressure up. You gotta slow it down, bro. See, he's moving too fast for me. Something kind of mellow like the right there. All right. Y'all forgot I was a musician, huh? See, that's the thing, Bill. They only know one side of me. You understand what I'm saying? They don't know that I'm a granddad, I'm somebody's father. You understand what I'm saying? Did y'all know I was a martial artist? No? Yes? Oh, you already knew I was a martial artist. How many people seen the video of me and my wife recently? 2 people? Hold on 1 second. I need y'all to go pick up your cell phones right now. Come on. No. Get your cell phone. Go to YouTube. Put in Professor Griff featuring Soleil, S-O-L-E. The name of the song is called Now the End Begins. Now the End Begins. I want y'all to do it too. Shout out to the Serious Minds family. I need y'all to do that too. Now the End Begins. Professor Griff featuring Soleil. Can somebody play it where I can hear it out there? The beautiful brother that edited that film is sitting in our audience right now. Where is he at? This brother over here on the camera down. Let's give him a round of applause. Yo, there's talented people in our midst. All right, so if you need a video edited or whatever, see Shane Shakur over here. Who got it up? You got it? Okay. Now, my wife stole my red beret, so don't worry about that. I'm going to get it back. But y'all don't even remember the red beret from back in the day, the Public Enemy days. Oh, you do? Yeah, you okay. Damn, okay, it was like that. I thought it was like this, but it was like that too. Okay, I got you. Anyway, all right, so I just wanted to come on and greet the family. All right, not only greet the family because I'm going to invite Red Pill to come back up because he said he had some questions that he wanted to ask me. But one of the main things I wanted to get across before I leave this stage is survival and preparedness. All right. We're not, when I have this particular part of the conversation with you guys, we're not talking about what you believe. What you believe is going to happen. Whether or not if you believe the second round of COVID is going to happen, I don't give a rat's ass what you believe. We're going to start talking actual facts. Is that cool? Is that cool? I've been having too many conversations with too many people, and I'm not taking a shot at anyone. I like that. Okay. I'm not taking a shot at anyone that's out there that may have this particular persuasion. But I've been having too many long, drawn-out texting conversations with people talking about the reason why the police shoot us is because we're not sovereign, or we're not this, and we're not that. Good, say that shit to somebody else. Because they're not stopping you, asking you for ID to see whether or not you're sovereign. All right, so good conversation. Now is not the time. Then in the other conversation, Cracker had the nerve to text me with this madness. Well, if black people would stop killing black people, then maybe the police would stop killing black people. When is that ever going to goddamn happen? Not never. So listen, so you mean to tell me if we stop killing one another, white people are going to stop killing us? How foolish does that sound? Because who was killing us before we were killing one another? Audience is real quiet. What's this, mellow out Mondays or something? Fuck. I need that African beat behind me, man. You must got some serious energy, man, because you always want to start up on that 6-8, man. That's the ancestors coming through you. See, what I wanted to do, though, is keep them mellow right here, and then later on, when it gets a little bit more intense, because it's going to get intense, then we can, we can take it to the 6-8, but the 4-4 is cool right now. That's cool. All right, now check this out. Just a little bit about Professor Griff. Like you, I was born to a mom who had 12 other children. I'm the 7th son, 12th child. Born on August 1st, 1960. I'm 60 years old right now. Oh, give thanks. Thank you for the applause, but the disrespectful thing about that is we used to live to be 1,000. Remember? No, you don't remember? Roll your minds back. So when I say roll your minds back, let me go deeper into that. There's millions of years of ancestral wealth that's in us. Every single person in this room. We have to begin to learn the process and the methodology to go inside the self and pull the rest of the self out. All right? But guess what has to happen before that happens? We got to kill the nigga. See how the room got extra quiet? We got to kill the nigga and move the nigga out of the way. Not the nagas. That's beautiful. We got to kill the nigga, the one that the cracker made, to move out of the way so we can reach down and grab and reintroduce ourselves to ourselves. I'm going to say that again. Shane, can you bring me that Warriors tapestry off the table? You need to be introduced to yourself. All right? But the individual has to make the introduction to the self, because it's simply put like this, and hopefully some of you already know this, but let's see if I can jar some memories. In having a conversation before I took that journey with my mate. All right? She simply put it like this. She says she's on a journey of the self, through the self, back to the self. Come on, y'all, talk to me. Give me something back. Yes, no, maybe. All right, okay. The journey of the self. Through the self. You experience everything that the self has to offer. Then when you finish with that, you return back to the self. You follow with me? So now when I meet you, turban and all, there's a lot we don't even have to discuss because we didn't meet by accident, right or wrong. Our paths crossed for a reason. There's no such thing as a coincidence. Am I right or wrong? We don't even have this concept of coincidence. Things happen when they're supposed to happen. Am I right or wrong? Okay? All right, follow me now. So when Mom gave birth to Griff, all right, just like you, I was just kind of doing my own thing, whatever my own thing was, until I got the call from the divine. And then when I answered the call, that's when I began my mission. And as the Western world thinking, who's been in the military? Anyone? Okay, so you know when they say forward march and you step out on your left foot, well, they stole that from ancient Kemet. I'm sure you'll already know that. Because you step out with the left foot forward, trampling evil before your heart goes after it. Am I right or wrong? So we have to trample the evil before we move forward. So when I got the call, everything that was a hindrance in my path, I had to get it out of the way. Listen, physically, I should have saved the physical for last because that's not the important thing. Spiritually, mentally, intellectually, on a psychic level, then physically. All right? Because we're all gods and goddesses having a human experience. Am I right or wrong? Yeah. We're spirit beings. Am I right or wrong? Having a human experience. Right or wrong? This body will go back to the essence sooner or later, right? Okay, but you will forever live. All right? This is why when we take the stage, we pour libation and give libation, and we call on those that still live in us, because our ancestors speak to us from within us. Am I right or wrong? You are your ancestors. You are your ancestors. This is not that deep. Come on, y'all. This is basic stuff. Right? You are your ancestors. So then when you walk, know that you're not walking alone. How many people, let's just be honest, how many people have ever seen me going to and fro in Atlanta and seen me with bodyguards? None of you. Because I have the ones that you probably can't see now. You probably see them. You probably see them. But I don't have to have the big bodyguards following me around protecting them. I am protected already. See, the vibe in the room is kind of, now you're getting kind of spooky on us, Griff. No. Remember back in the day, the old ones that was among us that came before us used to read our auric field? You remember back in the day when you were sick and you didn't have a doctor to go to? Your grandmother used to come up, look you in the eyes, pull this down, look in your eyes, look at your forehead, right or wrong. And she knew what was wrong with you. Before you delivered yourself to the crackers and the white coats. Come on, talk to me, right or wrong. What happened to that science? All right? What happened to that intuitive science that was buried in us that we knew? You remember back in the days when you brought him home to introduce him to the family because you thought his ass was cute, and he had to sit among the family, and the family had to ask him questions. That's called the ass circle. You didn't go to the ass circle, did you, bro? I went to the ass circle a couple of times. She thought I was a handsome dude, strong, and all that kind of stuff. So she put me to the test, brought me home, introduced me to the dad, the brothers. So I sat and we had a discussion. And they asked me anything that they wanted to ask me because they said, you're going to be hanging out with my little sister. You understand what I'm saying? We got to check you out, so to speak. So what I did was putting this book together. All these things that I talked to you about for the last 10 minutes, I put in the book. All right? But I put it in such a book where a 14-year-old can read it. Well, why did you do that, Griff? All this deep, high science, it ain't deep, and it's not really high science. It's something that the 14-year-old should already have. Are you following me? All right, so what I did, I put it in the book, but I didn't put it in the hands of the 14-year-old. I put it in the hands of his mom and dad. I said, here you go, turn any page. You can start out with the first couple of pages, and it deals with building an altar. Raise your hand if you have an altar at home. Well, I'm talking to the right audience, man. That's beautiful. So I don't need to tell y'all. Then how come they don't revere and respect one another? If you have an altar at home, we should return to it often. Am I right or wrong? Bring the altar gifts. Pour fresh water. Bring flowers. Bring fruit. Whatever it is that your ancestors now, I have an ancestral warrior altar. That only the ancestors that were warriors make my altar. You understand what I'm saying? Why? Because I want to call on that spirit every single day. Because I know that's the spirit that dwells in me. So I know the Mau Mau dwells in me. I know Yasakiwa dwells in me. I know the Zulu dwells in me. Are you following what I'm saying? And that's a beautiful thing to recognize the gift that the Creator deposited in you only for Griff now. I can't tell you your gift or your gift or your gift. You got to discover that by making the journey through the self. All right? And then back to the self. All right? Only you can discover that. So then I put the oath, the pledge and the oath in the book. All right? Because we're pledging the street gangs, we're pledging to a whole bunch of things that's not us. Now, of course, don't get me wrong, those street organizations are fine. Hell, they're fine with me. I don't know about y'all. You understand what I'm saying? All they need to do is hear the right word. And they get locked and loaded. You follow what I'm saying? Everyone needs to find their tribe. The question now is, have you found your tribe? What does your tribe consist of? Now, this is no disrespect to anyone in this room. I am not of the berry and leaves and fruit pickers, and that's not my tribe. That's just not my tribe. I'm not part of the fishermen and the goat herders and the camel riders. That's not my tribe either. All right? When you talk about Shango, Ogun, all right, these are members of my tribe. And we have to understand that every aspect of what the particular deities consist of. This is part of my tribe. So what I have a tendency of doing is finding Shango and Ogun, all right, in any man that I meet. And it's not a gay thing. Because I don't have to verbally say it to the man. We already feel it with one another. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes it's this non-verbal communication thing that works more so than the bastard language English. Am I right or wrong? Because this English language confuses sometimes. Because I can see you and I can say, God, I love you, man. And we both know that ain't no gay thing. You understand what I'm saying? And that's coming from here. All right, so that's just a little bit about Professor Griff and what I put in this book. And those brothers and sisters, all right, whose spirit I call upon every single day, I put in this book. So you know you're going to see Winnie Mandela, right? You know you're going to see Dr. Francis Cress Wilson and all those ancestors, Dr. Amos Wilson in the book. All right? That's just a little bit about Professor Griff. So when the Public Enemy thing happened, I was just walking out. I was walking in my path. That's why when you saw me on stage, it was easy for me. I had to put too much effort into it because that's where I was supposed to be. Did not want to take the front. If you knew anything about Public Enemy, I stayed in the back, kept my eye on everything and every damn body. You understand what I'm saying? And it worked. And it worked. Shortly after that, let's fast forward a whole lot of years so I can bring Red Pill back up. This situation that went down recently with Nick Cannon that me and Red Pill are going to discuss briefly. And then the thing after that happened with D.L. Hughley, we're going to discuss also. I don't want y'all to look at that through the lens of Professor Griff taking the high road, so to speak. When you're 60 years old and you're a junior elder in this, all right, we have to start thinking more and start calculating more strategically. So instead of Professor Griff getting heated and blasting out and lashing out, I got to think in terms of 7 generations behind me. Your children's children. Are you following me? So when they look back on this time, they say, oh, okay, this went down. That's how you handle that. There's wisdom in that. Am I right or wrong? You know how many times I've been poised to slap the shit out of somebody, but I had to think about it twice? No, y'all don't know. We'll talk about that some other time. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, give another round of applause for my good brother, Red Pill, on deck.
Y'all can do better than that, Cobra. So we're gonna share the microphone. I have some questions that I want to engage my brother, Professor Griff, with. Fun fact, this is something that the family might not be familiar with. 10 years ago, we are in 2020. So in 2010, I was just getting my start on the big stage, which was, it started out as a dream of mine. I remember going to a lecture and seeing Dr. Sabi on stage. I was like 8 years old. He was barefoot, you know what I'm talking about? And I was on the floor and he looked like he was 100 feet tall, because he was a rather tall, lanky man. And I was like, damn, I don't know what it would take for me to get on one of those stages, but I can't, that was a dream of mine. And I was started to live out my dream in 2010. And my first lecture that me and my brother Blue Pill did was entitled Blueprint 322. And we did that in Brooklyn. And then our second lecture was in Atlanta. It was in Little 5 Points at a place called the Luna Cafe, right? Now it's called Five Thai or something. Thai 5 or something. And a phone call was made to Atlanta to see if a legend would stand and put his name on a flyer with me and my brother Blue Pill alongside A.A. Rashid. And the brother who got the phone call was Professor Griff. And he said, yeah, he told Black Dot, you already know I'm going to be on that bill. So for my second lecture, right, 10 years ago, right here in the A, my big brother right here co-signed us and yeah, stood right there with us. You feel me? Yeah. So I'm indebted. This is how, I'm indebted to this man. Like, I remember I'm one of those brothers who I would never forget who was there for me on my day one journey. I would never forget who helped pave the way. And I won't never forget to say it. These Negroes are so secretive in this community. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? They've been studying the Illuminati so long. When it comes time to give a nigga his accolades, they like, nah, secret society. Like, we gonna keep that on the low. Like, you know what I mean? No, nigga, say what happened. Like, talk black to me. Because everybody, this is like, remember, this whole experience is gonna be written. It's gonna be Netflix movies about it. I'm talking about the whole community, this whole movement. So it's important to get the story correct. You know what I'm talking about? And we're gonna do a lot of that. We're gonna be correcting a lot of history that has been turned into mystery because the people who are out here telling the stories, they didn't even know it themselves, right? So on that note, my first question would be to Professor Griff. We now are in a day and time where we finally see contributors to DJ Vlad's platform, right? Most importantly, our good brother, Lord Jamal. Shout out Lord Jamal. Give him a hand. Lord Jamal. Another fun fact. Professor Griff came under fire, right? Based off of an Ogun ceremony. There was a martyrdom that took place in Dallas, Texas on 7/7/7, right? Straight ritual. It involved a gentleman who happens to be on some of our altars. His name was Mika Johnson, okay? He martyred Alton Sterling. What does martyred mean? Martyred means he took it past the march and he shed blood in their name. He said no longer will they be a victim. You niggas can't ask for no justice, no peace. Because I'm going out like Harambe and I'm finna spill some blood. And that's what he did. And he got sacrificed. And then they put a picture of him that he took at a lecture, the same way that somebody could take a picture tonight, and he was standing with Professor Griff. Now, never in the lifetime of mass shooters or whatever they wanted to call it, would they put a picture of Dylan Roof and Garth Brooks together? You know what I'm talking about? Like, would they put a picture of Eminem and what's his name? Timothy Leary together? No. But they targeted Timothy McVeigh. They targeted Professor Griff in that campaign. That was a propaganda campaign in 2016 when they were trying to marry certain communities with the conscious community, and they created the term Black identity extremists, and they utilized our good brother, and there's a group of us that had to come to not his defense, but we stood with him. It was Black Dot, right? It was Pam Africa. It was Brother Sanetta who brought us on his platform so we could do a live stream so the world could know that we standing with our brother, because they were trying to put him in the crosshairs. And Lord Jamal was there, right? So I know that the brother stands for something, right? So he canceled Vlad. Why? Because Vlad started a propaganda campaign against the minister. A propaganda campaign that started after the Criterion speech on the 4th of July. On the 4th of July, after the minister charged Black America with a task. What was the task? He said in the Criterion speech, I want y'all to speak truth to falsehood, and I want you to attack falsehood wherever you see it with the truth. And he was like, throw away that book that don't work for you. And he went after these people, and they punched back. And people act like they didn't know that they was gonna punch back. And when they punched back, they knocked out a whole bunch of these Negro teethuses. Nick Cannon lost 2 of his buck teeth. Right? The small hats punched back. And they knocked out a whole bunch of our people. Allen Iverson folded up. He took his brains out. Who's the other one? Name somebody that folded, because a whole bunch of them folded. Right? So the mission of the media was to target every single person that was at the farm, and they were showing support for Minister Farrakhan. That's what the whole Nick Cannon thing was about. And once again, they went and put our brother in crosshairs. And Vlad and the other small hat people who pledge allegiance, right? They run it, they move it as one. They're on code. So he began to attack the minister. Matter of fact, he attacked Dr. Sabi. So he was supposed to have been canceled, right? But my $1 million question to Professor Griff is, why is it that Vlad TV is even relevant? Why the hell is he even the go-to guy? Why is he the blog that I gotta wake up to get news from? Because I would love to go somewhere else. Is it no conscious people that could put together a goddamn WordPress page? Like, can we not do what he's doing? So I want to know from somebody who's in new media. I don't like to call it black media. We're in new media, right? And we are the competitors to a Vlad, to a world star hip hop. Why is it that our community has not embraced the idea of owning and controlling and promoting and supporting our own media?
There is a documentary film. Just make a mental note of this or write it down or put it in your phones. It's called The Social Dilemma. You have to watch this film because it speaks directly to, right, it's on Netflix, directly to what you're saying. It has a little to do with us not uniting, us not wanting to support one another, but it has a lot to do with who controls and redirects those URLs, those algorithms. Who controls that? Right. All right, and I know it's happening to me. Yes. You understand what I'm saying? People started playing the numbers game when it came to YouTube. How many hits and how many likes? Until it was discovered that people actually were buying likes and hits.
Click farms.
Right, exactly. So they had these farms where you can buy them.
Right.
It was a famous story that went down like 4 or 5 years ago. There was a brand new band, couldn't get out of their mama's garage. All right, so the gentleman came along and wanted to put them on a European tour because they had so many numbers, thinking that they had a large fan base. Well, when the first day of the tour started, it looked just like the last day. Nobody showed up because they had bought all of the damn hits and likes. You understand what I'm saying? Because they weren't real people.
Right.
So we have to understand something. So these algorithms, these fake pages that are out there, which are thousands of them, and some of y'all went on fake dates with people that y'all thought was the people. No, that's real. Catfish. So we have to be very mindful of that. Now, when you're talking about Vlad, all right, who's a Russian Jew, you have to understand the particular dynamic when it comes to that. Of course, you're gonna get a pass. Of course, they're not gonna redirect your URLs. Of course, they're gonna let it fly, whatever it is. But when you look at how he ran his particular business, or without being hindered by YouTube.
Right.
So you mean so when I went on Vlad, I got a call from, and this is actual fact. I got a call from someone I knew. Because I didn't even know who Vlad was, because I wasn't watching dude. So, but it was the person I knew that I was connected with that said, Joe, would you mind just doing an interview, whatever. I'm like, okay, what is it about music? Okay, cool, I would do it. You understand what I'm saying? So when they set the interview up, we did it at the studio that I work out of, and they was like, basically, come on, we'll meet at 10 o'clock, we'll just kind of knock it out. He had questions already prepared. I said, you don't need to send them to me. Whatever you ask me, I'm sure I can answer. I'll try my best.
Right.
But long story short, to make a short story shorter, the cracker did not even come to interview me.
Talk about that part.
I'm sitting there in front of a screen like this, and he's on the screen in his apartment in New York.
Right. He's not in the room. He's not present in the room during any of those interviews. It's all from a screen. I bet you didn't know that.
I looked at that. It was kind of strange, but at that particular time, I said, okay, you know, the analog thing is out, the digital thing is in. Maybe this is the way people do things. All right, so prior to starting, he wanted me to sign a waiver. I cracker, you out your mind. You might as well pack that shit and we go home, because I'm not signing jack bone. You understand what I'm saying? So this is what they do. They get you to sign the waiver, all right, to sign all of your rights away. Because everything could look fine, but it's the last paragraph in the middle of the paragraph says you don't own a damn thing after you finish doing this. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, so let's move real quick. So an hour-long interview, he takes up and he chops it up into 3 to 5 to 7 minutes long. All right? So 3 to 5, 7 minutes long into 60 minutes is what? Y'all do the math. All right? You end up with how many of them? Short clips that you put on, which gets what? 700, 800,000 hits of likes. All right? So when you monetize that on YouTube, it turns into dollars. All right? And then when you get beyond a certain number, he's able to get ad people coming with that want to purchase ad space and this kind of thing. So after interviewing 30 people,
right?
You understand what I'm saying? With 3 to 5 minute clips, an hour long.
Look, I have to change the lexicon because that's important.
Right.
After 30 interrogations. It's not an interview, y'all. He's interrogating them from a screen. Like if you ever been locked up in a county and they're giving you closed circuit, right? You got to see the judge on the closed circuit. So his interviewing style for anybody that's in journalism is interrogation. Yo, Little Smurda Gangsta Black. Word in the streets is that you beat those 8 bodies, right? By using a Jewish guy that we all know, because when I interviewed a mobster who was down with Sammy the Bull, then they'll do a flashback to a mobster like, yeah, we was killing mad people, and then we got this Jewish lawyer. He was the best at it, and then they'll go right back. And you use this Jewish lawyer. Tell me how that situation was. And then the dude would be like, well, you know, I didn't really kill 8 dudes. It was more like 9, but I beat it. So, you know, I'm like, damn, this is what you're spewing into the stream of consciousness? And it's sandwiched in between news articles that are like unbiased, you know, regular things.
So I'm glad you said that, because something similar happened to me on Vlad. Yeah. If you go back and watch the Vlad interview, I mentioned Russell Simmons. I didn't take it too far because it wasn't my place to. But I already said dude was about to catch a rape charge. I already said dude was messing with little boys.
That's right. You did.
So if you go watch the film that just came out 2 weeks ago about Russell Simmons, all right, and you see the women and the sincerity of the women that are on there saying that Russell Simmons raped them, it ain't news. That's not news. The people in and around Def Jam, in the music industry at that time, that knew what was going on at Rush Management and Def Jam already knew about Russell Simmons. You understand what I'm saying? So it wasn't nothing new. I wasn't on there sounding like I was gossiping.
Like they knew about Harvey Weinstein.
Exactly. So they knew about all these things already. They just didn't think that someone that was up close to the situation, such as myself, because I was the road manager for Public Enemy, and I had to kind of deal with these kind of people. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I knew it, kept it here, and I didn't say nothing for years. It's double negative. I didn't say anything for years. Do you understand what I'm saying? But when pressed by this character, you understand what I'm saying? I said I don't want to say too much because I'm still sitting in front of one of them characters, and I'm not gonna throw Russell all the way under the bus. So I kind of cut my answer short, and I said, "Listen, man, I'll deal with Russell, plain and simple, because I'm not gonna get treated the way Russell treated me at the end of my time in Public Enemy at that particular time. This Negro called me a stage prop. I said, wow. For real? Well, what do you think Public Enemy would have been without Professor Griff? Without the militant radical spirit? Do you understand what I'm saying? All right, do me a favor then. If you don't like what I just said, won't you put it to the test? Won't you go look now? Take the microscope and put it over and look down at Public Enemy and see who's radical, what's militant. Talk to me. So it's not necessarily the music and how fly it sound and what beats sound like, whatever. It's the spirit of it. This brother could play that drum all day long, but if you don't put the spirit in it, you could shoot with the cameras and the phones. Elder told me one time, he says, young blood, it ain't the paintbrush, it's the painter. You understand what I'm saying? You can use any kind of instrument, any kind of tool. It comes from you. It has to be here. You follow what I'm saying? And that's what I went into the interview with. But I didn't want to give this crack the ammunition that he could use against somebody else that looked like me. That's right. And that's the reason why I went so hard on D.L. Hughley checking him. And I said to him on the phone in private, why would you want to do that to another black man? You don't know me, bro. You don't know me to discredit me in front of the whole world. Talk about this is the only platform that Professor Griff get on. And what did you expect from a man like Professor Griff? I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? Like a man like Professor Griff.
Hold on. Because I have to speak to the hypocrisy of an individual such as a DLU. This is when the disrespect comes in. This is when the blatant disrespect comes in. Because keep in mind, his woke persona, you know, D.L. Hughley has become woke all of a sudden. Like, now he knows things. But to speak against a brother like Professor Griff, who, if you really think about it, in hip-hop, let's think about it. Let's really sit down and put on our thinking caps. Who was talking about the Illuminati? The same things that a D.L. Hughley is slowly beginning to unpack. If we waited for him to really break this shit down, we'd be waiting 100 years. Because he's giving you piece by piece by piece. But you're gonna talk, that's what I'm saying. The disrespected people who consider themselves to be woke give to the conscious community, the icons, the legends, the master teachers. It's borderline dangerous because the whole world is watching that. So, you know, I really give the brother, I'm asking the ancestors to really, you know, take it easy on D.L. Hughley because that was a violation that he did in the eyes of everyone in the midst of the challenge that you were going through as a result of the whole Nick Cannon thing that we're going to touch on.
So D.L. Hughley said, and you're right, when I put out the information about the Illuminati, I just didn't put out the information about the Illuminati. I said the Illuminati in hip-hop.
That's right.
And I started breaking it down according to the information that was provided to me, Steve Coakley, Khalid Muhammad, and a few other brothers. And then the brother that tapped on my coffin when I was falling asleep, brother Black Dot. Let's give Black Dot a round of applause.
Yes. Legend.
Shane, can you give me the psychological co-reward and symbology off the table for me? So the thing that D.L. Hughley said that was so disrespectful was the fact that he said I was anti-Semitic. Now let's do a taste test. And be honest, let's be honest with one another, family. How many people truly know what anti-Semitism is?
Nobody.
Maybe 2 people. So just real quick, 2 minutes. The Semitic languages and the Semitic people are black people. In the lands and in the region where those particular set of languages and cultures exist is all black people.
Right.
These other people came along, as Nick Cannon said, they came along and stole our birthright. Right? This is one of the first things you learn when you get knowledge yourself. Is the first question you should ask is, who am I? What am I? Where am I? Am I all that I ought to be in this world's life? So in learning that, we learned about the geographical location where the original people existed. All right? Those particular lands consist of the Semitic cultures, and they spoke Semitic languages. Now, they spread out through the diaspora, but we carried those particular languages to other lands. Are you following me? So for some people to come along and say, me, a black man, who's a descendant of those Semitic people that are anti-Semitic, how is that? Come on, talk to me. So what they do, and we discovered that they use this term anti-Semitism or being anti-Semitic as a code word to rally all of the forces in the world that claim to be Hebrew or Jewish, to come against you and shut you down. So recently I had the pleasure of discussing this, having this conversation with a few Jewish people. And I asked them straight up and plainly, what's the definition of anti-Semitism? What's the definition of being anti-Semitic? And I could not even get a real answer. So what I did on my platform is I showed you a white Jewish woman actually admitting that her husband was part of the Mossad. I don't know if you know what the Mossad is. It's like the CIA in Israel. Her husband was a Mossad agent, all right, who admitted to her that they made up and redefined the definition for the term anti-Semitic, and they used this to come against people, to shut people down. So what I did in my book, On the Table, Analytics, first chapter, all right, I said I'll give you $1,000 out of my brother's back pocket if anybody can prove that I'm anti-Semitic. And this is what I said to D.L. Hughley. He says, man, I don't know. I was just reading what they put in front of me. I said, damn, Negro, you didn't even read it, call me, investigate it, do some research. So you just took it on face value. And then you went on Vlad TV in front of a white Russian Jew and agreed with him that I'm anti-Semitic. I'm like, come on, bro. I said, nah, you better than that, man. So why would you want to destroy another black man? He had no real answer, man. He said, I'm going to stick to my guns. Nick Cannon had no real reason and no benefit to have that discussion with you on his platform. I said, well, why not? Nick Cannon was trying to get a degree from Howard University. Brother G from New York. Okay, he introduced me to Nick. Mr. G. That same weekend, I did Wildin' Out. I shot my piece for Dr. Sabi's documentary. Nick Cannon asked me to come back the next day to do Cannon's class. I said, cool. He said, you got any of your books on you? I said, yeah. I gave Nick Cannon A Warrior's Tapestry. Now, this brother's an avid reader, man. The brother studies. I gave him The Psychological Covert War, breaking down hip-hop on a psychological level. And then the last book I gave him, breaking down the symbols in hip-hop, was Symbology. He went through all, and then the day we set up the interview, I didn't know what he was going to ask me. If you watch the interview, Nick led that conversation. I was humble. That's his class. That's his platform. Listen, family, I'm 20 years older than this brother. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just saying to myself, okay, this is for his class, so I'm just going to follow his lead. And I followed his lead. The brother held on to the conversation for a year. No, y'all think with me now. I'm doing an interview with you, and you hold on to it for a year. For what reason? Are y'all thinking with me? I want to hear y'all thinking. 4th of July roll around and you want to drop at the same time the Minister Farrakhan is dropping his thing. Come on, talk to me. So either there was a plan that I didn't know about, or something else was going on behind the scenes. So when the interview came out and they started coming at the minister, they came after Nick, and then I think in 24, 48 hours or so, he ended up apologizing. You would think they would call me, right? I didn't get one goddamn phone call because they know goddamn better. You better not call my ass. Not at all, because I'm not folding, not buckling. I'm not apologizing for the truth. I'll take this shit to my grave. And if I'm the only one standing on truth, then that's what the fuck I'll do.
That's right.
I'll stand on it on my own. I'll stand on it on my own. Plain and simple.
Right.
I came in this world alone. Well, not necessarily alone, but I'm saying. But if you're going to stand on truth, then stand on truth, regardless of who comes against you. I know these wicked demons are liars. If we're going to sit around and allow them to steal out the bread, you are a true Hebrew. You are a true Jew. Are you following what I'm saying? The black man's the original man. The black woman is the original woman. Am I right or wrong? Then why don't you stand on that? But you let other people run around here with locks and injecting their lips and a little backside and all this other stuff, claiming to be who we are. Anyway, so I had a couple of conversations with Nick. Nick said he was going to ease into Atlanta and have a one-on-one private conversation with me without cell phones. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm still waiting on the conversation. Yo, watch my platform. I never blasted the brother, never talked about him, never called him out his name. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm respecting the fact that he said he, man to man, he wanted to have a conversation. I want to have a conversation, and I'm going to stick to that. Now, I ain't waiting too goddamn long, but I'm just saying, I want to have the conversation so we can get some of these clear. You understand what I'm saying? All right. So basically, that's the take on what happened with the Nick Cannon thing and everything that kind of led up to it. I did see Russell Simmons' family at the Grammys. At the Grammys, and we did have a brief conversation. I said, no, it ain't personal. I came up and run, and DMC, and Jam Master J. It ain't nothing personal. But I'm not gonna sit around and have this man destroy me. And so not so much in front of the camera, but he was destroying me behind the scenes. Let me ask y'all something. Y'all are kind of young, but let me ask you, why do y'all think I got kicked out of Public Enemy? Excuse me? There's not a real reason. There's not a real reason out there. Somebody, huh?
What was the incident?
The incident that set it off real quick. I did an interview. These damn interviews, man. I did an interview with a black man that saw someone else set up again. All right. And at that time, we didn't have access to these cell phones like y'all do now. So I used to carry a briefcase with me. Matter of fact, it wasn't a briefcase. You know the luggage that you could check in and put it overhead? I used to carry full of books. I had like 60, 70 books with me. You understand what I'm saying? One of the books I had with me before it came out was The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews. Everybody on the bus was reading it. We would dialogue, debate on the bus, and have those kind of discussions. You understand what I'm saying? So by the time I got to the interview, I was full. So I sat down with a black man who was recording the conversation. Lo and behold, about 40 minutes into the conversation, because we was getting it in, white girl came in, and I see him press the pause button on the tape. So I'm looking on my shoulders, white girl coming in, and I'm like, you ready? I used to hold on for a second. So she came and sat next to him and gave him a kiss. I'm like, look good now. So now my whole spirit changed. All right. So he turns the tape back on, and he starts to ask these questions about who runs and controls the music industry. It's in the book. Philip A. Muhammad put it in his book. All right, excellent book. And he names the names, names the companies, names the people and beneficiaries. All right. How many Jewish people you think own basketball teams? Which team is not owned by Jewish people? That's the question. All right. Which rappers are not connected to them that they don't control? This is why they become the reason why they don't speak freely like I speak freely. Because they run control. They control these Negroes. You following me? It's not rocket science. You can Google it on who owns the major record companies and what label these particular individuals on. Are you following me? So that's simple. So when I did the interview with David Mills in 1989, damn, some of y'all weren't even born. In 1989, when that interview hit the Village Voice and hit some of these magazines and some of these newspapers. They wrote me off as being anti-Semitic and out of Public Enemy I went. So then when I came back to Public Enemy with a vengeance, they kept asking me, well, are you going to apologize? Are you going to apologize? I said, okay. Yeah, I'll apologize on one condition. That all of you apologize to for everything that you've done to us. Give us our land back. Give us our riches back. Give us everything that you stole. Then I'll apologize. Did they apologize? Nope. Fuck them. Coming and goddamn going. Now let me tell you something. And I said it on this stage a few months ago. When they come, and they're going to come, it's not a question of if, but when they come, 19 Keys, because they're coming. And if we don't leave them dead at our damn doorsteps, may the earth reject my body, because they're coming and you know they're coming. But are you prepared for them to come? No, you're sitting back watching it play out on YouTube, knowing that they're coming for you. Oh, this brother got shot over here last week. These 3 brothers got murdered over there. Did you know in Iowa they found a brother in a ditch, burning alive? 4 records arrested, but didn't end on CNN. We're dying all over the place. You know they're coming, but you're not getting prepared. So let's just be really real with one another. All right? So recently I taught a survival and preparedness class. How many people took the course? Thank you, sis. 1 person in the room. So now the question is, since only 1 person took the class, are you ready? 1, 2 people ready? That's it. We all go to her house. Are you ready? Is your pantry ready? All right? If you got 5 firearms, then you got 1,000 rounds for each firearm. Do you know how to use it? When's the last time you've been to the range? Do you know how to clean it? All right? Do you got marching orders from your queen or your king? Come on, talk to me. This is real, man. Because you see the signs of them coming. Let me tell you something, man. Shane will tell you, and a few other people in here that know me will tell you, I go to the gun shows and I see how they preparing. They preparing for real. And it's not only the firearms. Did you know that the Black Panther Party, back in the day, had safe houses set up in every other city, houses that you can go to and lay low with arms and ammunition. And that in Atlanta. What if it went down right now and all of us got locked in here? Can we stand to be around one another? Hell no. Because when coronavirus hit, you got locked in with your wife or your husband. Some of y'all got a divorce. Can't stand to be around one another. You understand what I'm saying? It's a real dynamic. All right? We have to start preparing now. And the number 1 thing that you have to start preparing is your spirit. All right? Last point. My mom's a country girl from West Virginia. My dad is darker than anybody in this room with straight hair. They used to wring the neck of the turkeys and the chickens on the farm. All right? Later on, I saw how they would slit the throat, which I thought was kind of inhumane, but I saw how they slit the throat. So at that particular time, I got used to seeing blood, which was part of my training. All right? How many people ever seen somebody get murdered? It does something to you, man. For real. And if you've never experienced that and seen that, it moves your spirit in a different kind of way that I'm not thinking that you're ready for right now. You see it playing out on YouTube, but to hear it, I took Shane to the gun range and took my sons and took other people to the gun range just to hear somebody bustle off right next to you. It does something to you, man. You understand what I'm saying? And then to know that you carry the tool that can take a life, you have to be spiritually ready for that. You gotta have yourself together and intact and pull it from your center. So why don't we start simplistic things? If you're gonna go take a plant from the earth, ask permission. That's right. Am I right, Black? You ask permission. All right? Whatever God that you say you worship, whatever deeds you want to call, ask permission. Bless your food. All right? Pray for the people, for yourself, and pray for the people around you. See, y'all may think that's kind of weak, prayer, meditation, asking for forgiveness, setting up an altar, and all these things. But it's important. You know why? How do you think our ancestors, those of us that fought every battle that they don't teach you about, survived so that we could be here? All right, somebody fought that we're here, right or wrong? Somebody fought. What battles were they? What battles did they fight? And what mindset did the Maroons have to have? Did the Mau Mau have to have? How did Yasasiwa come back to the village and take all these punk ass men, these black leaders that was weak, and move them aside and said, if you won't fight these bastards to get the Ashanti throne back, I will. And she rounded up the women in the village and they fought these crackers to get the Ashanti throne back. How dare you sit your white ass on the king's throne? And that's what you're allowing these people to do. Sit on your throne while you walk among them and you're like everything is fine, and it's not fine. COVID-19 is coming back around because they're bringing it back around. Because the shit didn't work the first time. When the shit was happening at its peak, black people in Atlanta like, y'all was partying, am I right or wrong? Something about us, there's resilience about us. You understand what I'm saying? And they recognize that. And we have to understand this particular dynamic. So last point, when they come, they're not coming in the way that you think they're coming. You understand what I'm saying? To every man in here, wherever you are, don't let anything happen to these women and these children on your watch. I don't give a damn if you know them or not. Sisters, I'm gonna let y'all know straight up. If I'm around and you in proximity, nothing is happening on my watch, and I'm telling you straight up. And America will attest to that. Brothers, that's how all of us should be. Plain and simple. We should tattoo on our arm. You touch one, you touch all. Put your hand on her, you got 10 brothers to deal with. Am I right or wrong? Plain and simple, what's wrong with that concept? See, but in order for you to activate that concept, you gotta love one another. I don't even know you, dude, but I love you. I got you here. You understand what I'm saying? And that's how we begin to operate from this day forward. So brothers and sisters, know and understand, I will not be that black man under that fucking cracker's knee getting choked the fuck out. I'm not gonna be him. I'm not gonna be him. Plain and simple. Me and my wife had this discussion the other day, dealing with the Breonna Taylor case. You mean to tell me these crackers kicked the door in at 1 o'clock at night? Didn't announce themselves. Shit, Shane to tell you I had to curse his ass out for not calling me and let me know he coming over. And I was expecting him to come over. Imagine you coming over unexpected. 1 in the morning, kicking the door in. And I'm not in the fucking crap. It's a problem, man. Well, say, damn, Griffin, how many times did you shoot? I don't know, fucking 40, 50, I don't even know. Your brother shot once or twice. And I thought that was good. Coming out of a dead asleep at 1 o'clock in the morning. But no, brothers and sisters, if you're not emptying the clip, it's a problem. Because that's how they coming. Am I right or wrong? They got the nerve to lie, all right, with all of the neighbors around Breonna's house, an apartment rather, said the police never identified themselves. Them crackers came to get some money, some drug money, some something. You understand what I'm saying? But they set that brother up, Brother Walker, they set him up, all right, so they could justify what they did to Breonna. Because they know it was dead ass wrong. If you had months of surveillance, you know who has coming and goings out of my house. If you already had the information, why would you need a no-knock warrant? Why'd you come 1 o'clock at night? You could have came at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Am I right or wrong? If you already had the surveillance, but you come at night, guns blazing, the cracker was outside of the sliding glass window. Do y'all notice? Shooting through the sliding glass window into the apartment. No, y'all didn't hear what I said. The gunfight didn't take place in the apartment. You don't know that. The cracker was outside shooting in. I gave my wife instructions. Shoot and kill to your heart's content. And don't stop. They didn't come there to have a fucking meeting. They didn't come there to discuss and negotiate. They came there to kill. Am I right or wrong? We have to understand that and process that fact and act on that. Plain and simple, fam. Blessed are those that struggle. Oppression is worse than the grave. It's better to live and die for a noble cause than to live and die a slave. Asante Sana.
Come on, give her a hand, y'all. Y'all can do better than that. Y'all can do better than that. Y'all can do better than that. Come on now. We're the icon right here. By a show of hands, because we about that life. We ain't, like I said earlier, we here to a mission. We here to complete the mission. The brother that's on drums right now, Brother King, he introduced us to Sovereign Land a few weeks ago. Took us to the mountains where I'm talking about acres upon acres upon acres, as much as the eye can see. All us. They got the God is back there. He's a witness. He was there. Secret was there. We got family that been in the building and know it's no cat.
No cat.
We got the land and we ready. So by show of hands, who is ready to learn tactical training from an expert such as my good brother Professor Griff? He does this, right? Like he said, this is not playtime. It's not time to be all fearful and whatnot. But for the men and the sisters, you live in an open carry state. You can wear it like clothes. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this shit. I'm from New York.
Okay.
Yeah. In New York, brother would be like, hold on. We don't got that right. That's what I'm saying. Every person in New York can never say the word sovereign. They can't utter it because you can't even protect yourself with a firearm. That is a natural right. Y'all live in y'all on a different time out here. If you don't take advantage of that, right? If you don't mimic what you saw in Stone Mountain, right? And form your own militias and be unapologetic about busting a gun at a target, that is, so you can get your archery, your aim correct. The brothers that got lied to and went into the military, right? And got inoculated and got traumatized. And they had your ass thinking you was on a G.I. Joe mission to fight terror. But it was the war against terra firma. Ain't had nothing to do with them Arabs. You got hoodwinked. But you learn how to be an American sniper. You learn how to do all kind of stuff. Why you not coming back and showing us? Right? You know how many veterans I be meeting? I'm like, where's this? Why y'all not teaching our people? The white boy is. So that's not particularly what the land is for, but we are going to segment acreage for the purpose of non-lethal and lethal tactical training. It's legal, and right now it's a requirement. I'm talking about we want the babies from 4 and up. If they could shoot the video game, they could shoot the blicky. I'm so sincere, and that's coming sooner than later. We are going to be doing retreats that are going to be based solely off of healing. Okay? Solely for healing purposes. Plant medicine, meditation, breathing, yoga, right? Being able to heal, being able to deal with issues. Then we're gonna have a retreat that are gonna deal with singles and couples. A couples retreat. So married couples, right? Elders in the community, part of the tribe, what can they do? They can do what the elders are supposed to do. Provide counsel, right? Elders for counsel, youth for war. So if you're running around and you all young and you ain't doing nothing, right? Come and holler at us. Because you, for war, and I'm not talking about picking up a gun, because war is ugly. You should not really try to manifest that. Don't meditate for no goddamn physical war. But right now, we in a spiritual war. We under attack. The Sentinels is coming, right? This goddamn election or selection or whatever they're about to do, right? To end out this 2020 movie, you gotta be prepared for that. And I'm not talking about just for ammunition. You need mental fortitude. You need that ammunition. You need testicular fortitude. You need that ammunition. You need to have your prana and your chi intact. You need to have your aura intact. You need to have your mind right. You need to be connected to the land so you know when things are not right? So that's what we're going to be doing leading up into 2021. And but who has the book? I was passing around a book where I was encouraging everybody to leave their information. Who got the sign-in book? Okay, by show of hands, is there anybody who's new to Melanin Monday that did not sign the book? All right, please, can you be responsible for that book and send it to the people who didn't sign it? Right? So what we're going to do is this, y'all. We're going to take a little break because we have vendors in the building. We got a packed house. Give yourselves a round of applause, man. Look at y'all. Y'all outside on a Monday night, right? I'm promising the ATL, if this is what y'all want to do on a weekly basis, it don't gotta just be one night. If y'all want to get together and socialize, if y'all want to get together and network, if y'all want to get together and build, because we're not just gonna be talking, because there's too many doers in here, right? We got to be able to build on something at night, so when we wake up in the morning, we go and handle that shit. This is the aim. It's people out here getting to this bag, period. They don't know one inkling of the information that you know. They're not in touch with their skill set. They don't know their purpose. And they calling for us. And they're showing up, right? And they tapped in, right? So we got vendors in the building, right? I call them future billionaires. We got entrepreneurs. I don't know what a vendor is. Yeah. We got serial entrepreneurs and we got creators in the building, right? I got my table over there, Kings County, right? With some hoodies, t-shirts. I got jewelry. Yeah, hey. They got the copperware over there, stones. Yeah, Professor Griff has his books. And if there's anybody in the audience that knows about value and worth, even if you don't read books, I should not have to tell you that anything that you see in this building tonight from any one of our entrepreneurs is considered to be collector items. Just buy it and put it up if you're not going to use it. But don't walk out of here empty-handed. You're going to kick yourself in the ass 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 3 years from now, when you were part of history. So we got the brother with athletics, Jefferson, back there. We got the brother and sisters over here. No talking about. We got Professor Griff with the books. We got the sister back there. She got some sea moss with ginger. I thought I was on a nutcracker. No, this is a nut master. Pineapple, sage, and sea moss. This is a good drink. Tap in, right? And when we come back, I don't need nobody going home yet. Because like I said, we come with surprises. So we are going to serenade you with the wisdom, the gemstones, the jewelry, and the keys of a young leader in our community, right? A brother who is making global moves and shaking the pillars of the matrix. None other than our brother, 19 Keys. Give him a hand. Might get a surprise performance by one of the talented artists in the building. We got plenty of them, huh? Give a hand to Lizzie Jeff. The priestess. Give a hand to Sister Amina. And there's many more people. But what we're gonna do is take a 10-minute break, y'all. Like I said, if you're leaving, if you're going home, you can tap into Know the Ledge Media on YouTube and watch the rest of the broadcast. But if y'all want to stick around, I'm definitely stick around. You don't want to miss this. That's all I gotta say. Stick around. You don't want to miss this. 10 minutes. Check the business out. Tap in. Come next week. We're gonna have the brother 19 Keys as a special guest. He's gonna be a headliner. But for now, you'll get a taste of what he's gonna bring to you. All right. Hey.
Hey.
This is weird. It's powerful and funny. You get things and go on.
And I'ma get that deep on the crack. Roll up the project.
try to flip cause I'm proud to the 16 shots and all I got. The wall with the mouth in my eye. The man for shit is not. Taking the vibes, no job at second hand. Most bells don't know brand. So let me move the shell and land. A young dude, the rockin' and go to. No juice when we wake up and get the G.O. to jump with. And let's start like this, son. Going with this one. And that one. Pulling out gas for fun. But if it's just a dream for the team who wasn't big, started smoking moves at 16. We're running up big gates and doing things by high stakes. Making my way off five skates. No question, I'll be speed with racks and weed. The combination made my eyes bleed. No question, I will flow and try to get the dough on. Sticking up like points of full one. My life got no better. Same damn look sweater. Time's rough and tough like weather. Figured out I need a more rap. So I got on the six like clip and went all out. Catching keys in 4 feet. Bumping every beat 7 feet. We make 4G. Look, hurries and slip mine. I ain't gonna take now. Bam! From the gate down. Guys, smoke up and think around. I ain't get the money. Smell a dollar bill, yo. Guys, smoke up and think around. I ain't get the money. Smell a dollar bill, yo.
Kevin provides lasting beauty that protects you from just about anything. Guaranteed. Kevin, no fruits, no less.
Perfect woman, perfect sculpture, vibrant and vibrant. You have no need to have retouches. No other has your versatile nature. As a side, and as the stomach. That's your
Oh, the 22 years still struggling. Survival got me bugging, but I'm alive on the Bible. I beat like the sick for the streets. Stay awake, keep away from the work. Shit is deep. I'm in it with the dream. Ways to make the dream spread. I want to chill like the age of 15. I'm not one. Selling drugs and stuff. You never had much fun. Get it, but you want to do not And so now I face the confirmation. Going up, fix my desperation. Can't come in back to the run. 4 years run. Like that, so but as the world comes out, world fight is hell. Living in the world of different for myself. Every day I take the takes, give and take. Celebrate, smoking bones in the staircase. No, I don't know why I took the smoke set. I guess that's the job when I'm not depressed. But I'm still depressed. And I ask what you want. But you do what you want to do. Who explain what you know? I play out your anything. To learn the whole life, the heartaches and pain. We got stick up kids to rock tops. Black rocks, straight side. Over the rock, stay high. Leave it up to me when I be with the roof. Keep the truth to the young black youth. The stories run around, so it's test to the beer. It ain't trying to hear what I'm kicking in the head. Reflected without myself, it got to be accepted. The what? It's like accepted.
You shouldn't do anything rash. Don't get it. Don't you know that Charlie don't go? I thought you wanted to know okay, don't now.
Some else fight like my intense slang is bad. Fucking bang, it's more deadly than the stroke on an axe. Chopping through your back. Keep your box standards on the tax. Niggas trying to push, telling you prison. I always fucking prison. Making a business actor, tell prison. You wanna get so funny. You wanna bring the buckets. Then I'm a fuck niggas to keep buckets. I run the team, I ain't with the pain. You selling pain. I'm giving out a candy cane. It's not the muscle, it's the way you take crushing. You had slip up and get fucked like you said. In the fucking buckets. Bring the motherfucking buckets. Bring the motherfucking buckets. Bring the motherfucking buckets. Bring the motherfucking buckets. So bring it on. 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 So bring it on.
Type 2 diabetes isn't easy. But if you're the type to try hard to lower A1C, Staglogen is built to build on your efforts. One day you come that combines 2 different medications that work in 3 different ways. It helps your body create less sugar, make more insulin, and remove some sugar.
Staglogen is used for diet and exercise, help lower blood sugar levels in kids with type 2 diabetes. Serious side effects.
Man, in the front, represent. Niggas on the left, represent. I like to sit my head. Wild for the night. Walks in the night, represent. And how we do it straight. Walking with us now, sort of like a miracle. In the square, I like my game now. The bitch walk, flex like a miracle. You walk. Sorrow was the whole thing. When the sun was still come out to walk when you shine like 4-9. From the drop off, put a Valentine. Pass the home, get past the home. Let's get on this shit like
You got a card? Alright. Say it at the thing. Alright. How y'all doing, ladies? Peace. Look at those pieces, y'all. Got a card? You. Let them see the staffs. Hold on. I'm sorry. You got the staffs, y'all. Y'all see the staffs? You got the staff. You want to get your staff on, you got it. Are you enjoying yourself? There you go. What's going on? What y'all call it? ATL, KTL, ATL? How y'all call it? ATL. Yeah, KTL. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I like this. There's something different right here. I'm telling you. Man, look at all the technology they got out here, man. What? Big technology. Big technology. Yeah, big technology. Moving. All right. Peace. All right. Peace, y'all. Slice. All right. Yeah. Peace.
peace. Don't be camera shy. Peace. All right. Hey. Yeah. What up? Yes. All right. Jeff, let them know the website.
Website is AFR-LETICS athletics.com. AFR-LETICS. Check me out at Action Culture as well. They carry Kings County and all kind of goodies. How that? Got the Savy shirt. Multiple flavors. Savy was the genesis.
Savy was the genesis.
We got the Larry Davis Gun Club joints.
Yes.
How that? Hit me up.
Can I get the athletics model? Can I? Yes. You got yes. Yeah. Shorts, lit. Yes. Wearing it well. I must, yes. Olu with the crowns. Hold on. They asking me about the crowns. Yeah.
Yo,
They
look up for your custom crown at Olu. OLU.
Y'all asking me about the crowns. This is him. Right.
He'll create your custom crown for you for the honor too. Peace, love, and light to the fans.
Yes.
Luke King Red.
Where can they find you on the gram?
On the gram again, that's at OLU. OLU _.
All right.
Contact the crown.
Yes. The legend. I mean, in the building. Yes. Ghetto the goddess. Yes, blessings. America, you're gonna tear down the Woke Fest. Yes, I can't wait for that performance. I know you're ready. We gonna do that song? That's right. Let's set it. Let's look. We gonna make it happen. Let's make anything happen. Yeah. I appreciate you. Give me 5 minutes. We're gonna start the show back. 5 minutes. I got you. All you gotta do is get on the mic.
All right, family. We are about to get back started. If y'all all could come back in, get back seated. Let's all get back situated so we can get back to the show. Y'all been showing my vendors some love. Yeah? I can't hear y'all. I know, they taking all my money. All my money. Shmoney. My brother Raw Life in the building, blessing us always with that great energy. If y'all haven't already, y'all gotta check them out on Sunday. Where's it at? Sunday? At the core, they have a sound bowl healing session. I will be there this Sunday. Y'all gotta tap in. I'm so excited. I've been hearing so much great stuff about the sound bowl healing, and we will be there this Sunday, 6 to 9. 6 to 9. You coming? Yes. Sound bowl healing. It's gonna be amazing. Raw Life Yogi. Go to his Instagram. Check it out. Everybody, please, let's get back seated. Let's get back right. About to get started. All right, so as y'all heard, we have the wonderful icon, the brother, here today. He's just gonna come up and share with us a little bit about him, but we have him coming for a whole show next week. So y'all better come back to check him out. But everybody, please give my brother 19 Keys a round of applause.
Thank you, appreciate you. I didn't have anything prepared today. I just came up here to introduce myself and some of the things that I have going on, and some of the ways that we teach in wealth to Black people in America. Right now is a detrimental time for everybody's lives and everybody's family. And for the most part, we don't really know what we're doing. We think we do. We have an idea of what we want, but we don't know how to get there. And I keep telling people, right now, of course, we've fallen into the old hope paradigm of vote and jobs and possibly go to these institutions and get an education and things might be all right. And the reality of it is that this system that we're dealing with, most of us are wholly ignorant to it. Most of us in this room are financially illiterate, that we may know how to get a couple of dollars, but we don't know how to manage it. We have no understanding of diversified portfolios. If there was a recession that hit today, all of us will go to zero. We having fun, we're enjoying ourselves, but we're not prepared and we're not training whatsoever. That the police come up, they beat us down, they treat our women any kind of way. Our children, they treat them any kind of way in school, they teach them whatever they want to, and we have no control or rulership. That white America's sole purpose is to keep you from ruling, keep you from controlling and owning anything, especially your mind. And so, unfortunately, our children will be the ones that inherit our ignorance. Our children will be the ones that inherit our liabilities. And so, everybody has a responsibility to take accountability in their lives of things that they know and the things that they don't know. Now, let me ask you all a question. When was the last time you seen a Chinese leader that stood up for his people and fought for liberation in America so that his people can have wealth and be represented? No hands going up, so I'm guessing you didn't see it. Who are the highest household income in America? Now, for the most part, I know that the propaganda idea is that we're in a race with white folks. It's the Black and the white race, right? But in reality, what we should be taking from the standards is the Asian standard, the Oriental wealth standard. That the highest income household model is the Asians. The fastest growing rate of billionaires in the world right now, the Asians. Those who get paid the most in the tech sector right now are the Asians. See, the Asian community don't think that one day I might be a basketball player and this is my ticket out of the hood, so therefore I can have some wealth. They know they ain't the fastest. They know they ain't the strongest. They know they ain't about to beat the black man to the hoop or the football whatsoever. They know that there's not going to be an Asian Malcolm X, an Asian Martin Luther King, an Asian Minister Louis Farrakhan. So therefore, they know that nobody's going to save them but themselves. I don't have to go to the Asian community and yell to them that they need to work together in a family model, that there are roles and constructs that men and women must play in order for the family to win. I don't have to yell to them that we need to unify and work together in a collective manner. I don't have to yell to them that education is going to be their ticket to advancing their mindset so that they can execute on their goals and ideas. But we have to do that consistently in our community because we have no standards. And where there are no standards, there can be no accountability. So we try to hold each other accountable, but how? How do we know the wrong thing that our mother did or our father did if there's no standards? If there's nothing whatsoever as a protocol towards wealth? So that imagine you growing up in an Asian family and a recession hit. The dollar goes down to zero. It's not worth anything. And now your family has zero wealth, and you ask them, hold on, Mama Lynn, where's the gold? Because they know in their community that they keep gold as a security holding. Just in case a dollar go down, gold goes up, now they can hedge their portfolio and they're safe. Because the value of their family wealth didn't go down to zero. But we have the big and yell black people to put some money in precious metals. When we talk about hip hop has no standards. Anybody can be a rapper. You can talk about murder, you can talk about death, you can talk about prostitution, pimping, you can talk about just about anything under the sun, and you will be accepted as long as you got a good beat and it's trendy and it becomes popular. So how can you hold rappers accountable if there's no standards? So when we talk about a standard, we're talking about a criteria for which things must be done. In our households, right now, most of us are not working with our family because we don't believe in the family business standard, that we have a dysfunctional family, meaning that we're not working in the roles and operation that our family is supposed to work in because we can't communicate. We can't come together and say that this is our vision, right? This is our mission. This is our family CEO. This is going to be our crest, what our family stands for. This is going to be the values that we uphold. And this is what we're going to push. We don't have those kind of meetings. We don't sit down and have that. We said we can't work together with family. We've heard that. How many have heard that saying before? Don't mix business with family. My saying is don't do business without family. In America, all of us fall under the jurisdiction of family business, and that's the Washingtons. Washington, D.C., owned by the Corporation of the United States of America, considered to be property owned by the property. Yet, we don't own LLCs, even though the 14th Amendment says that the corporations have more rights than black people in America. So I teach black people, own a corporation. When we look at Donald Trump wealth standard, he evaded those taxes how? He owned his corporations. He was able to write off his profits and his losses. He knew how to move in America while Democrats may be using it as a tool to get you to vote Democrat by telling you how egregious the crimes of Donald Trump is. You're supposed to be learning and say, well, how the hell I can do the same thing? Because in reality, Donald Trump is everything that we wanted Obama to be. Not morally, but how he goes up there and exhibits control and ownership. And given that we probably was going to have one shot at this, we wanted Obama just go in there and be disruptive and make the change that he said he was going to make. But he didn't deliver none of those. Gaddafi had a wealth standard for Africa that he was putting everybody behind a gold standard, creating the satellites, doing the things for his people. He went and killed him. Bush, his wealth standard, followed the family practice, going over there in Iraq, saying that they had weapons of mass destruction, stealing all of their gold and oil. And somehow, Bush, even though he was a mass murderer of Katrina, still is celebrated by our community, still is listened to. Michelle Obama can kiss his hand and whisper sweet nothings and offer him candy, and nobody speaks on it. So the black man with all his intellect and logic is looking and saying that this ain't right. That there's something wrong with y'all in this political situation, that y'all dealing with a bunch of pimps, but the pimps are getting nicer to you than the last pimp, so you said we gonna go with this one. When we saying that, no, all of them are corrupt. All of them are devils. So if I'm following the wealth standards of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and he said, do for self, create your own world. I know Malcolm X said the same thing. I know Marcus Garvey said the same thing. I know my ancestors said the same thing. My ancestors didn't die for the right to vote. That was your ancestors. My ancestors died for the right to do for self. They died for freedom, justice, and equality, and equity, and ownership, and control, and separation away from these devils.
That's right.
So when we talk about voting, what is voting in the first place? Voting is just part of that bread and circus show that Caesar puts on for the people of Rome. That we still following Roman practices. that when a person votes, they still doing votes of vowing and wishing to a deity of Rome that's going to promise them something. And so in reality, we don't even realize that we're living under layers and layers and layers of construct of someone else's thinking and mindset. So here we are arguing over, is it to vote or not to vote? I don't care whether you do it or not. It doesn't matter which wolf you get, they all come to eat the sheep. So the reality is that you're supposed to shepherd for yourself. What is your 2021 and beyond plan? Regardless of who becomes president. What you got planned for yourself? What your family got planned for their estate? How you gonna survive if America crashes and the dollar goes down and the digital yuan takes over there in China? See, when we don't get involved in international affairs and policies and understand them, then they can utilize our ignorance against us. And that's what they do every single day. So you won't see too many dangerous, revolutionary, intellectual, high-power individuals talking to these politicians, because the politicians are meant to appeal to the emotional mind of the people, not the intellect, not the long-term thinking. They just got to get your vote. And then they got another 4 years to where they can appeal to you again. So this process in America doesn't work because we don't elect men by their virtue and their experience. We elect them by the fact that they can manipulate us on our hopes and beliefs and our trauma. And we pick parties. We don't pick the right person. So unless we have wealth standards in our community, yeah, that statistic that they put out in 2050 that Black America's wealth will be at zero will be the reality. Historically, there's only 2 ways to pass down wealth: through real estate and life insurance. Most of us own no land, and most of us don't have life insurance policies. So we're guaranteed no wealth whatsoever. But we go and celebrate the fact that we have nothing because we want to escape. That's what Caesar did for the people. He put on the gladiator shows. They came to the Colosseum. He gave them bread and a circus show to distract their mind from the fact that they had nothing, while Caesar and the Republic was eating good. But the people, they was happy. They seen some blood. They got to eat a little bit. And then when they get home to their existence, then they're reminded by the fact that they have nothing. That Caesar went and conquered all these lands, fought all these wars for them to live in poverty and to be hungry and starving. So what is really happening in America? Where's our Black family order and operation? That Atlanta has a huge problem. Because Atlanta got some money out here, right? But ain't no family out here. Not enough. Not Black man, Black woman, Black child. Not the nuclear operation of family. Not where y'all will be planning the states and where y'all can create nations based off that and you can pass it down. Washington, when we look at Washington, George Washington, right? This military man. That wasn't his original name, right? His original family name was the Hartburns. But his family came under the jurisdiction of somebody else's estate, the kings of Normandy, the ones who came and conquered over here with the England. And now he knew that because he came and conquered over here, he had to be wise to continue to keep his philosophies pushing and keep his family name going. So therefore, anybody that came under his estate took his name, and they also had to take the philosophies under that land. So he put out a book of Doomsday. That doom didn't have the same meaning that it has today. It was talking about a record. So anything that came under that law, that he could tax those people, that they became his property essentially. So when we living in America, and because the 14th Amendment cleverly changed the word persons to corporations, so when they talked about you having liberty and freedom and things of that nature, they was talking about corporations, and that each person became under the jurisdiction of corporate law, and everything referred to commerce. Now, some of this is foreign language to us, but we got time to go out, drink, smoke, kick it, right? Go have multiple parties, orgies, all kind of crazy stuff y'all got going on. But how many of us is really sitting down, getting a detailed business plan and getting their operation together and wondering why the white man is treating us like children because we acting like it? You acting like you're not at war. You acting like you understand the laws of this land. You acting like you know what to do next. And then you got the nerve to ask, where's the leaders? Leaders here, you just ain't listening. No, you want the leaders to tell you something nice, make you feel good. Let me get up here and joke with you, make you feel, oh, you black, you proud, you melanated. Yeah? You a god, what you got? What you want? Prove it. Them white boys went and wrote their documentations, went and conquered and showed you that my name gonna live forever, that your family be owned by my family for the next 100 years. If there was no George Washington, there was no King of Normandy, it wouldn't be no name Denzel Washington. Them free persons started to take the names of their former slave masters, and to this day, some of us still got those same names. And just the name, it's the intellect that matters. That we fall under the jurisdiction of white patriarchal and white matriarchal intellect. So at one point in time, we gonna understand that we must own land, we must own gold, we must have our trust together, we must have family operations as far as how we're gonna train and do security, right? We're gonna know how to run a business and set up our business correctly. We're going to know about fractional reserve banking and the systems and the bank runs. We're going to know about crashes and a multitude of other different things that have set us up right. And we're going to have knowledge of self that we're able to pass down. Here's our goal right here. This is where Black America wants to be. In between is our ignorance. And until we bridge that gap between our goal and our ignorance, then we're going to stay right there, hoping, wishing, and voting. So if we want to make any moves, you have to ask yourself, do my family has the knowledge to build wealth in it? And if that answer is no, tap into the wealth standard. Peace now.
Come on, y'all can do better than that, man. Come on.
I beat him up a little bit, my bad. Hey, I still love y'all.
Well, that's just a preview of what we're going to be bringing to y'all next week. 19 Keys will be our special guest. And we're going to get into it. We're going to go deeper. We're going to deep dive into the solutions because we are solutionaries and evolutionaries. We have come to Atlanta as paradigm shifters to shift the paradigm. It's going to be uncomfortable, but like we always say, birth, right? New things, birth. It's going to be bloody and it's going to be painful. The comfort that people like to be in, we got to get out our comfort zones. In order for us to see new results and to level up and to take this thing where it needs to go, we got to get serious. Case in point, how many know somebody that got the PPP check this summer?
Huh?
How many people, by show of hands, know somebody that got some free money from the government? I didn't say you per se. I'm not trying to open up an indictment. Right? How many of them, right, have created social entrepreneurship? What's that, Red Pill? What a social entrepreneurship is, a business that you create in your neighborhood, right? This socially aware and it's entrepreneurial. Meaning, case in point, somebody starts a CMOS business, right? They took the $10,000, the 100 racks that came damn near out of nowhere, and they was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy 100 dozen pounds of that CMOS because people got respiratory issues out here, right? I'm gonna invest in some of that elderberry. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about doing some big boy shit though. 10 racks at the Jamaican spot. Like, you know what? Give me 100 dozen pounds. They're like, Bomba Clyde, Walmart. Yo, call the ship, man. Call the Black Star Liner. Send the shipments. I'm talking about pallets, right? Big boy stuff. So big boy, you got to go there wearing linen when you go and pick it up. Like you a big boy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You got the custom jewelry on, like this Miami Vice. You think you moving weight. How many people did something like that? How many people took that money and invested it into buying up acreage? Because, you know, I saw a report that there was 19 families that went ahead and bought some land. Salute to them. But God damn it, with the susu popping, with the PPP loans, with all of this free money floating around, we should have had all kind of breakthroughs. Goes to show that we not disciplined. Goes to show that we not working with a plan. Goes to show that Negroes is conditioned to give it up to Joe Biden or Donald Trump, and that's the only thing that you think about voting for. You won't vote for yourself. You won't vote for the big homie. You won't vote for an organization. You won't vote for your thought leader. You won't vote for someone on Instagram that's making moves. You're not putting no stock into none of you. But Black Lives Matter, right? That's what they were saying. That's what the graffiti says, right? You know what I'm talking about? These niggas got parkways, roads, and whatnot. It's Black Lives everything. I'm driving through Buckhead. These white people got it on their lawn. Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? With Mexicans, trimming the lawn. Why we not voting for us? Why we can't collectively come up with a 10-point plan and challenge your thought leaders, your leader guys, the guy that you swear has been sent there to save all of us. Why don't you ask them, why don't you tuck your ego, right? And sit your scary ass down with the rest of the thought leaders and come up with a solution. Vote on it, right? The solution bigger than the ego, than the person. Why don't we just come up with a 10-point plan instead of asking the Democrats and the MAGA hats? You niggas want to take selfies with Candace Owens, running around trying to act like you low-key want to switch sides. I'm voting for Trump. Really? That's what we doing now? It's a bunch of buffoonery. It's wild distractions, and I'm ashamed that I even entertained it. It has no merit. It evaporates the day after election day. It didn't do anything for us. But y'all don't want to talk about voting for us. And I ain't talking about me. I'm just talking about a plan. I'm talking about an idea, a concept. With all of this trauma that we collectively went through, we didn't lay no eggs. They out here cutting lottery checks, scratch-off checks to every black person that get killed. That's the new bag. Niggas' moms is like, yo, you acting up in the crib. They're like, look, man, I will call the police on you and get a bag from you, man. Stop playing. You got dudes, girls figuring it out. Like, yo, wait a minute. We got a whole force that will discipline you niggas so we could twerk for Salt Bay. That's not what's up. That's not what's up. That little incident right there spoke to me so ill. It says so much. Right? There ain't no black man in the restaurant. She twerking for, you got Salt Bay with the camera. All of the other cooks, they don't got nothing to do with her. They all on her. Watching her on camera. The minute the brother comes, everybody scatter. He's the problem. He in the way. That's what I saw. I'm like, damn, if that wasn't clear, he's in the way. The Democrats want Cardi B and all of the WAP sisters to come chill. But they gotta invite Andrew Gilliam, you know what I'm talking about? And the brothers that's not checking for the sisters, and then they lock you out. You just too real for the party. And that's the party that we voted for. Both sides is corrupt. Both sides are corroded. Both wings of the bird is sick. And we not even entertaining the conversation. Here we are standing out here butt naked in front of the world, shifting paradigms. Y'all got leaders in front of you. Many have been vetted, right? And they didn't survive the vetting process. Okay? They got excommunicated. But there's other brothers and sisters who have come forward who at least could be a part of the council. You don't need one leader. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a plan, an idea, some concepts, agree on something. You don't want to agree at, go and vote. That's what the voting process, that's what your ancestors died for, right? So you could pull a ballot, but we should be pulling our own ballot. Let's talk about getting sovereign. Like the brother Key said, the most important thing is land. We got it. I wouldn't come up here and play no games with you. I stood on sovereign land. And it wasn't that far from here. We was back by the end of the day. Real talk. You could shoot your gun. You could plant your mushrooms, your herbs, your vegetables. You could build a hut. You could do a tiny home. You could build an earth ship. You could build a monolithic dome. You could do whatever you want to do on the land. You could set up a perimeter and put Grandmaster J in front of the goddamn whatever. Your man's in them. You could protect your land. You have the right to do it. Right? And it's called Cherokee land out of all places. I stood on a mountaintop. I saw Georgia, North Carolina, and I was in Tennessee. And it was nothing but mountain ranges all around me. It was the freest that I've ever felt. Look, DNA responds to environment. You got people calling themselves God and they never been out the hood. You niggas are surrounded by concrete. Your DNA responds to the environment. How the hell could you claim to be sovereign and you ain't never been in nature? You can't even relate to God is in nature. It's not in the buildings that man built. There are some scenes in nature that look more pristine than anything that man could ever build. That is where you will find God. And when you find God, your DNA will respond. And that's when you'll find God within. You're not going to find God in a concrete jungle. Right? So we got to get over our fear of being in the forest. You know what I'm talking about? Niggas is scared of the dark. Of being in a jungle. Atlanta is, the whole goddamn Georgia is a forest. If you ever flew in this thing, you know what I'm talking about. It's nothing but greenery. So you here. We got to go to these mountains. The grid is alive. We got to go to the Etowah Mounds and charge these mounds up. We did this work 10 years ago up in this thing. We did some things that I can't talk about, but it activated this grid. And I know who my opposition is. You know what I'm talking about? So we gotta work, we gotta, the shit is already lit. The grid is alive. The red clay is alive. It's electrified out here. So we need to start putting our thumbs in the dirt, right? There's seeds that already been planted. Put your feet in the dirt, ground yourself. It's people who've been here. Like I said, when we was talking at Tassili, you got elders. You got H-Rap Brown. You in the West End. He put in super work, right? I'm talking about he put in real work, physical work to clean this up. You got Dr. York, what he did with the land. You got a legacy of some elders. You got Bobby Hemmett, who walked through the West End and was teaching. He was teaching at the McDonald's down there by the CAU. You got C. Freeman L from this land. All right here in the A. They was doing the work before any of us even knew who they was. This shit ain't new. So carry on tradition, be a legend, be an icon, dare to be fucking great. You know what I'm talking about? Dare to be great. Tap into the energy that exists. You don't gotta bring nothing to the party. BYO, what? The bottle's already here. Just tap in, you are a party. Tap in, like I said. Put any differences that you may have to the side. Because the people that are out here drilling us, yeah, they don't see no difference. Matter of fact, they do see a difference. They know who to fuck with. They see aura. They see energy. They see the spirit. Like I said, it's a spiritual war. They know that there's certain lines that they can't cross. They send people who look like you in though. So keep your antennas up because they live. You know what I'm talking about? They walk amongst us. And we got to do more of this type of social type of thing. We got to flesh out those of us who got the solutions. And we got to put our money. I vote with my dollar. Right? If I believe in something, I'm going to put money towards it. We got to vote with our dollar. And we got to collectively choose something. I mean, November's around the corner. We could put a ballot up. When 19 Keys comes next week, he's going to present something to you that he shared with me that he's working on. Right? And we're going to roll some things out to show you got options. Right? So we're going to end the night out on a softer note. Yeah, I know it's kind of serious. But we got music. We got musicians in the building. And the universal language is music. I'm a musician myself. Yeah, and round of applause to that. Because, real talk, there's an album that's being worked on for Red Summer. And I'm here to let you know it's finna shake it up. We might have it ready for the Woke Fest on 10/10/20. I gotta remind you about that, right? The Divine Tribe and the Pink Diamond Records. Does anybody from that tribe want to come up and talk about this real quick? They're going to be presenting the Woke Fest. And Brother Red Pill, Blue Pill, we're going to be hosting it. Lizzie Jeff, she's going to be hosting it. Sister America Sutton, she's going to be performing. She is one of the most talented artists that I have met in Atlanta in a very long time in Atlanta. She is the future and the now. It's a lot of things that's going to take place on 10/10. We have a new music movement, right? This is the land. This is, this is the A. This is where it's at. This is where the egregor. This is where the spirit is. And the God Hop movement. Cyrock is dropping her album on 10/2. Come on, y'all can do better than that. Cyrock, the MC, is dropping her album, The Sharecropper's Daughter. That is going to shift the pillars of this game, right? Goddess game. The brother Cambada came out with LSD earlier this year. Go and stream it. There's a lot of artists that are coming, with some music that's going to change, it's going to shift. The prophet and the priestess. Yeah, that's coming. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And so we're going to leave y'all with some music tonight. We have Lizzie Jeff in the building. We got my sister America Sutton in the building. I want y'all to come up, please. Come forward, front and center. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Okay, we just. Let's just play it. Let's just play it. So we're gonna play some new music that we've been working on and whatnot,
So which one is this, Red? What you gonna play for him?
The one with America.
Ooh.
First, we're gonna set that off.
Okay, go ahead and introduce that one. All right, hold on. I gotta do that. Everybody, in the meantime, introduce.
Yes. I want to have the pleasure, for those who may not know who the sister is, I was introduced to her recently. I consider myself to be on top of things, but, I didn't know about the Lizzie Jeff wave. And during the Natural Mystic Fair, she was on the bill with us. We had the pleasure of sharing an Airbnb and making an acquaintance and whatnot, and immediately began the creative process. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what gods and goddesses do. They get to creating. You know what I'm saying? And when you create, you're able to, crystallize a moment, something that can live forever. So we hit the booth immediately. You know what I mean? She is the now, she is the future. She's all that, bro. You know what I'm talking about? And she got bars, you know what I mean? And she got hella swag. She has a movement that she is currently, you know, leading and whatnot. So I'm gonna let her introduce herself. So without any further ado, Lizzie Jeff in the building, y'all.
So, wow, Red, that was really powerful. Thank you. I really appreciate everything you said. The mic's not gonna come back. Right. Okay. That's fine. I heard you say it's on. Y'all can hear me, right? We tapped.
Y'all can hear her, right?
Yeah. So, like you said, my name is Lizzie Jeff, the rap priestess, medicine woman, and I'm from LA. And I'm here. I'm in the A. I had the opportunity to spend some time here earlier this month when everything kind of went left. When everything kind of went, because this served as a portal for ascension for a lot of us, and I feel like we did go deep, and we did deal with some trauma, and we did heal, and we are healing. Healing is an everlasting journey, but this moment has served as a catalyst for this new world, this new era that we're stepping into. Really, the return. So just honored to be here in Atlanta. I'll be sharing an album really soon, Prophecies of a Rap Priestess, dropping on 11/11. And on 10/11, actually, after we do the Woke Fest on the 10th, I'll be hosting a Reiki-infused album listening experience. That's on the 11th, so it's going to be a very intimate, low-key, late-night vibe. And if you're in the city, I would love to have you join me in the space. But I'm always working. I'm always building. Let's connect. Let's collaborate. You feel me? I feel like it's so much power in the collective intention. So when we cultivate spaces like this, when there's so many prolific beings in one space, everybody's so powerful. It's important that we plant seeds, we water seeds, we manifest greatness, we speak it into existence. And what I would love for us to do, if y'all don't mind, is if we could take a collective deep breath and really ground into this energy, into this miracle that we're in right now. It's such an honor to be here with y'all. For this to be what's reflecting, so I would love for us to just take a minute. Is that cool? Yeah. All right, so on the count of 3, we'll take a deep breath in through our noses. 1, 2, 3. Hold it. Release. Again, take a really slow, deep breath in. 1, 2, 3. Hold. Release. And if you have your eyes closed, just keep your eyes closed for a second. Just taking in the sounds of this moment, the vibe, the feel, the smell, the taste, the healing. Just really take it in. Because this is a moment, we in real time, it's happening, activated, we're amongst gods. And so one day in the future, when we want to tap back into this moment, we can just breathe into the healing, into the growth, into the tribal expansion, into the excellence that we're cultivating right now. So breathe it in, make new connections, speak life into each other, uplift each other, make sure we check in on each other, stay hydrated, stay flexible. It's important that we just move with intention as a collective from this point forward and beyond. And thank you to everybody that has paved the path for us. But I'm happy to be here. Let's build. Love y'all. Hey. Hey. It's
Yes, and this talented goddess here, we met during the same festival. We were at a bonfire, right?
Woo, at that bonfire.
Man,
Boy.
the gods was right. It was at your spot, right? At
The
the
sister
tribe.
up here was there.
Yeah,
Oh, we
man.
was all up there.
Man.
It was magical.
Mystical experience, and she was on the drums. She raised up the energy. She challenged those of us who are artists, who may have been a little, you know how when you're in an audience or when you're in a situation where you might not know everybody, try to fill yourself with, but she pushed everyone to basically fly, to spread their wings.
Be free.
Came out and did like a 15-minute freestyle.
What? She put him on the spot.
That's right.
She was on the
And the next day, we tapped in the studio and just followed up on what we promised each other that we were going to do. Because I'm at a lot of events and people, yo, where we going to get up? We going to do this. I'm going to link with you, King. And it doesn't necessarily come to fruition. So we live in these days and time where it's very imperative that you do what you say and you say what you do, right? And when you follow up, that's when the magic happens. It's on you now. Can't blame nobody. You're going to be responsible for what comes out of your mouth and the things that you agree to. This is really about, in 2020, decision making. Be held accountable for your decisions. So we decided to make some magic. So I want this goddess to introduce herself to the family, and we're going to get to this music.
Hey.
Oh, come in the camera. Okay. Love and light. I go by the name America Sutton, but it came the original way. And I give thanks for sharing space with all you kings and queens here. It's not what you have, it's what you have to give. I'm just a servant. I'm just a vessel, just passing through. And I just want to give thanks for each and every one of you. Love is contagious. Whatever we feed is going to grow. So if your thoughts is negative, so rich energy only. Ashe? I want to give thanks right now to my spiritual, I look at him, man, like a real father, a real king. That's Professor Griff. You know, I learned so much. Yo, come on, y'all got this man's house was burned down. Y'all understand he's still here. When you can build and keep going from nothing and be something in any situation, that's admirable. And I just thank him for always looking out for me, telling me the truth when it hurts. You know, even Soleil, his wife, embodiment of a goddess, sisters. Come on, we got to treat each other with respect. We got to love each other. We got to love ourselves. It starts with ourselves because we're just a reflection. You know what I'm saying? Let's not bicker. Let's raise our vibration. Let's love our kings. Let's support each other in love. Love is everything. But anyway, I can keep going on and on and on. And I'm just so glad that we're all here. And there are so many creators in this building. So I want to heal through the music and the vibe. And I just want to create, this is impromptu, if this is okay with Red Pill, for 5 minutes. If my sister Amina can come up here. Come on.
Go ahead, y'all.
My brother, yeah. 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 Oh, we got Professor Griff on the drums, dog. Come on.
Energy.
Professor Griff on the drum.
Hey.
We got like getting up and dance for a little bit? Come on, be free. My ancestors are calling.
My ancestors are calling.
My ancestors are calling.
My ancestors are
Come on, y'all. My ancestors are calling. My ancestors are calling. Say oh, oh. Say oh, oh. My ancestors are calling. Y'all sound dead. Y'all need to get up. Y'all need to feel this. Anything dead need to be buried. Hello? Hello? Let's go. Let's go. All right? Come on. Come on. Hey, my ancestors are calling. 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 Answer your 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 calling. Part of the show we freestyle. The part of the show we freestyle. Hey, hey, oh,
What I got from the upper line street. My step and link. I'm not the level. Knowledge. The overcome the devil. We God. God is the operation. God's the number one. Come on, let's get this mic right. Come My ancestors Give me one time.
All right, I love y'all, but we gotta go home. It's gotta end.
So, family, we have reached that time where,
We love y'all.
we don't gotta go home, but we might have to get out of here. But before we end, as we see the element of dance, right? The element of dance to close out the ceremony. This is the ceremony. You know what I'm talking about? With all of the pieces, all of the pillars that are needed to make something really happen. So I hope that y'all enjoyed yourself tonight.
So hold on. While we get the vendors closed down, everybody get getting ready to leave. We are gonna play the song. I'm gonna let it kind of premiere, but everybody still gotta go. So I need my vendors to start packing up. We gotta go. I know Dion wants to go home, and he's gonna beat me up pretty soon. So we gotta go. All right, family, Red. But I want y'all to hear this. This is the new song. It's the new song. You ain't gotta fake it till you make it all. You ain't gotta fake it till you make it all. You ain't gotta fake it till you make it. I know you seen all this wrong. The cheese of the Mars and small as natural. Baby songs all I don't see these people. The cheese of the Mars I know my eyes can take no more. I didn't see nothing ever. It's still one day, it's your decision. You give me time, it's just so. Exercising my demons, it's like I'm Hindu. Exercising, I'm stupid, it's like I'm Hindu. Paying up, really dreaming. That's a simple. Any given Sunday, but it gets freezing. They can't even yachts on the coast of Connecticut, like singing in Manning. Man, fuck forgiving. Cut the ribbon, no fucks to give up, no fucks to give up. Wait, when you niggas with my ribs was touching. Wait, when you niggas with my ribs was touching. When it's starting to starts in the matrix, it started to breathe. Don't remove the part in the kitchen, one in the next year. Try to the spots in the black images, give me on to the I found myself inside the sea of switch my focus just to realign my role. My own mortality consumed inside the tree. I just had some solid activations when I started with my cannabis. I just had a vivid vision of some evidence. Where were you motherfuckers when my rings were touching? I was out my mind, I was doing too much. I was in a place where my mistakes were blood. Really face to face with the drug on my blood. I chose radical self-love. Racist determination, supreme creatress. Dressed in all black, I got the fuck out the matrix. I was living in my greatness for my sacred patrons. Just like testing out this shit. It's imperative, I speak, it's imperative. Shit, my expression was complete, so my mind Lizzie Jeff, African Secret, America with a K. Tap in. So that's everybody. Oh! Yeah. Oh, this is the other one.
Tap it in. If you try to prove me, then blast in the bazookas. Jump in the hookah. On my daily shoes. Sit in the hookahs. Get a massive on the shooters. Slow past security.
Family, y'all tap into the brothers. The brothers Alpine Water. Where's the title? Alpine Water, y'all tap in. What's the Instagram? I'm gonna put it in the comments. What's the Instagram?
Let's get our shit together. We ain't even really in this bitch forever.
Hold on, baby.
Sharing prophecies to nations and angels. Feeling dangerous. I know that I can't. So I understand. Like, if you ain't about it, you ain't whatever. I'm nothing. So it never should have been God. He's a nation. I guess the really is. That was say. Affirmation state. Liberation. Great.
I appreciate
Ties like umbilical. Over slave. I started at zero. Now I'm living my ritual. Imperial, serial, entrepreneur, invested in herbs, get the gold with a cure, flip the equity, also known of artillery, bitch, I'm ready for war, big God energy, planetary shift on, every day more plenty, each and every day is on my PJ, still waiting, acting so scared, I'm skating like the fucking I'm saying, every artifact, almanacs is shit. Taking that back, and we ain't with it changing. Understand power pieces. Kingdoms rebuilt with telekinesis. Touch the back, I'm saying color and Jesus. Doors that take us every race the consciousness. Saving of the Genesis.
Let me turn this off, the broadcast off. All right, peace, family. We love you. We'll tap back in later.
You know what I'm saying? We talking about big crystal energy.